Just like that, my brothers and sisters. That is a wrap on June 2026. Let's go, bro. I'm actually pumped about this month. I feel like I learned a lot this month and I'm actually really excited to film this video. So let's just get right into it. For context, I've been trading since April of 2023. And that means that I've been trading for over 3 years now. 3 years and a couple months. And this journey has been all but easy, to be completely honest. I've had so many highs, so many lows, so many winning streaks, so many losing streaks. I've taken a bunch of breaks that were multiple months long, and I've just been all over the place. But I'm honestly just incredibly grateful for this journey of day trading and everything that it's taught me so far. I feel like I've grown so much as a person, especially this year, specifically because I've wanted to become a better trader. Take a shot every time that I say trader in this friggin' video. It's gonna be a lot. But I feel like I've grown so much as a person. I'm 24 now, and I think I'm finally growing into understanding who I wanna be and just what I wanna do in this life. And a big part of that has to do with my trading journey. This video is basically gonna be breaking down how I performed in the month of June, as well as breaking down some of the big lessons that I've learned over my trading journey, and also setting goals for the month of July 2026. Especially this month, trading moved from being just a hobby that I would give spare time to being the thing that I dedicate a lot, if not most of my time to. With this transition came a bunch of really good lessons so far, and I'm really excited to share them in this video. So for starters, looking at my trading results from the month of June, my P&L is not impressive. And I think that I want to preface it by saying that one of the things that I've learned is to not look at my progress as a trader based on my P&L, but rather my habits and my discipline day to day when it comes to my actual trades taken. So for the results on this month, my monthly P&L was negative $11. My win rate was 44.8%. I took a total of 29 trades, 13 were winners and 16 were losers. My average losing trade was negative $30, and the percentage on it was negative 12.8%. And my average position size for my losing trades was $248. My average winner was $37. My average percent on a winning trade was 14.7%. And my average position size for my winning trades was $273. So one of the things that I'm really proud of from looking at these stats is that my average winner was bigger in P&L, bigger in percentage win, and bigger in average size. I had 2 or 3 really good trades that would have put me in profit for the month, a couple $100 if I had simply taken profits. But one of the things that I've been challenging myself to do is to hold my winners longer by setting my stop loss at break even. With options, that's a little bit tricky, obviously, because you have the Greeks and you have theta, which is the time decay, which can make it hard to trade based off the price action, since obviously your break even level moves up and down along with price action. But overall, if I would have taken those trades in profit, I would have been up a couple $100 on the month. So those are my stats, essentially break even on the month, but I'm more stoked about the lessons that I learned than my P&L. So let's get straight into it. These are the biggest areas where I saw growth in myself as a trader this month. Number 1, building discipline in the mundane day-to-day tasks and habits. I recently started running, and bro, I freaking hate running. I'm not even gonna lie. I invested way too much money into some running shoes and have been pushing myself to consistently become a runner. I've always hated running. It's literally, I don't know if anyone likes running, to be honest, but I have just noticed how big of an influence it has had on my life and on my psychology. The act of me pushing myself to do something that I know that I really don't want to do, and doing it hella early in the morning, like 6 in the morning, and building that mental endurance when you're pushing through pain, that's what's really helped me to develop the mental endurance when it comes to trading. One of my favorite quotes is, "How you do one thing is how you do everything." And so I've been running more lately and pushing myself to my limits and going past the pain, because I know that that's teaching me to build that mental endurance to withstand pain when it comes to my trading. There's a unique mental toll and pressure that comes from trading, and developing that in other areas of your life outside of trading, I think, is absolutely critical. Not only that, but I've just been building really good habits, sleeping, 7 to 8 hours a night, eating healthy, tracking my weight every single morning, tracking my macros, strength training 3 to 4 times a week. It's literally just the basic things, maintaining good, healthy habits. And all of those things have been accumulating to make me a more disciplined individual, which of course translates into my trading. When you can get really good at being super consistent with all the things that are super boring, that's when you're actually gonna be in the right mindset for day trading. I used to think day trading was this super exciting thing where you were screaming and shouting and dancing all the time and you were always winning and it was euphoric at all times. But in reality, some of the best traders that I know are literally the most nonchalant, just absolutely locked in, emotionless, and just absolutely present in the moment. And that's the only way that they can keep themselves in check when it comes to trading heavy positions in the market. This is a game of patience, endurance, self-control, mental sharpness, and discipline. And the more you practice those things in other areas of your life, the more it'll translate into your trading. Before, I used to be very inconsistent, eating poorly, sleeping poorly, barely working out, and all of those things were clearly translating into my trading. I had no self-control. I had no capability to overcome fear or overcome pain that comes from trading in your subconscious mind. The fear of failure, the fear of losses, all of these things, they weigh on you mentally. So if you don't have the framework as a person to withstand that pressure, that's why 95% of traders fail. Number two, this kind of ties into number one, but that's developing my trading psychology. As I mentioned, I've been reading Best Loser Wins, and it's such a good book because Tom literally gives you an insight into his brain as a trader, how he thinks about his trading, risk, winning, losing, and all of these aspects that need to be reshaped to think like a successful trader. Now, there's so much that I could say about trading psychology and especially what I've learned from this book, but here are the main areas where I think I've grown in my trading psychology. Number one, in just my general mindset about how to think about trading, how to think about losing trades, how to think about winning trades, how to approach the market, those basic things when it comes to trading psychology. Number two, in my confidence that day trading will actually work. One of the scariest things about trading is that I know what the statistics say. Most people will fail. Most people won't make it. Most people will not be successful. Most people will lose money, if anything, and will waste a bunch of time and money in this profession. Knowing that others have found a way to have success in this profession gives me a whole new level of confidence because I've seen little glimpses of success even in small win streaks or decent trading, but seeing someone at such a high level, such as Tom Hogard or Haugard, I don't know how to say his last name, seeing him just put it plainly when it comes to trading that it's incredibly difficult and also completely possible, I think that's what reassures me and gives me confidence for this profession. I still struggle with these thoughts of self-doubt and uncertainty when it comes to my trading. I have no idea if this is going to work. I have no idea if I'm actually going to be able to make it. But there's just this degree of confidence inside of me when I listen to people like him talk about trading. So when those thoughts of self-doubt come, I've been doing my best to redirect those thoughts and just focus on the fact that there are other successful traders that are literally doing it every single day, making a bunch of money because they found the way to think properly about the markets and approach the markets with a winning attitude. And lastly, I've just been learning how fear affects our decision-making just in general in our lives, but specifically when it comes to trading. And I've just been equipping myself with mental skills for how to actually overcome these fears when it comes to approaching the market. Now, the third area where I think I've grown a lot as a trader this month is in my mindset around winning, losing, and just trading overall. One of the reasons why I say that June kind of feels like the month that it clicked for me is because this is the month where I actually implemented a lot of the things that I read in the book, Best Loser Wins, such as adding to a winning trade. It was the first time that I ever did it, probably one of the heaviest positions that I've taken in a while, and it was the single biggest profit in a day trade that I've ever taken. Now, full transparency, it wasn't that much money. It was only $209, but to me, that feels like a lot of money, considering that previously I've only had $30 to $50 days. I think what this did to me is just completely rewired my brain to expect more out of my winning trades and expect less out of my losing trades. Not only that, but I think it's also helped me to overcome the fear of making money, which I didn't really realize I had up until recently. There was a lot of things that I had to unlearn about my perspectives around money, especially the things that I learned growing up. And I realized that I was just afraid to be successful because of who it would make me into. And so just working through those things and allowing myself to actually win on big winning trades, it's made me want to hold my winners as long as I can and also stop holding my losers. Whereas before, I think I would add to losing positions and hope for the best, hope that it would come back to break even. And now I'm the opposite. If it's going against me, I'm looking for a way to get out. But when I'm in a winning trade, I'm looking for a way to add and hoping that it continues to go up and up. The thing that I'm having trouble balancing here is to understand the difference between being confident in a trade and letting it run versus getting greedy and just holding it just for the sake of holding it. Today's a perfect example. I was up about 40% on a pretty decent position, which would have been a really good trade to close out the month green. But because I wanted to hold it longer to see how much profit I could get out of it and wanted to add to that position, I ended up getting stopped out at break even right before it completely ran without me again. I'm still not sure what I should have done, but that's a work in progress. I've also noticed that I'm just a lot more patient with my trade entries, especially these last 2 weeks. I just don't want to take bad trades because I want to have good winning trades essentially. So I'm looking for a lot higher probability entries. The market has been kind of weird. There are really good days, really weird days, but overall, I think I'm just a lot more aware and prepared for market conditions by understanding news, understanding the volatility index, etc., etc. For the longest time, I would take profits immediately when I would see green, right? See green, take green, can't go broke by taking profits. But I think I've really reframed my mindset around winning and saying, okay, how long can we hold this where it makes reasonable sense and make a good amount of money if the market is already agreeing with me, instead of looking for a way to get out immediately once I'm in green. Another quick thing that I've changed about my trading is looking for contracts that have a delta of 0.45 to 0.5-ish and above. This is because I started getting sick of theta, the decay that comes from time passing. That was really starting to get frustrating for me, and I was scared of buying more expensive contracts because it was a heavier position size. But now I just realized that it plays out so well in your favor when it works out, and when it goes against you, it doesn't harm you as much as contracts that have a lower delta. Number 4, I've become hyper obsessed on my priorities. I think I've made my mission very simple and very clear for my trading journey. I just want to become the very best trader that I can be. That statement is costly because I think it's reshaped the mental filter with which I approach pretty much every single decision that I make. And I've realized that everything that I do in my life day to day influences my trading somehow. If I sleep late because I was watching a show, that gives me poor mental clarity and poor focus in the morning when I trade. If I spend too much time on social media just mindlessly scrolling, that creates a lot of brain fog, bad creativity, etc., etc. If I'm not taking care of my diet, I'm just low energy, I feel sluggish, I feel terrible. Now on the contrary, if I am focused on strength training, for example, I know that that's teaching me to endure difficult things, build that mental strength. Sleeping and waking up at the same time just teaches me consistency and discipline, and also helps with like a million things. Sleep is like the cheat code to a really, really good life. And even simple things like tracking my weight every single morning teaches me to do the same thing over and over and over and over again, which is literally what trading is. And all of these things also just teach me to operate in my own best interest. Day to day, I make decisions that are actually good for me. So when it comes to my trading, that translates because I won't trade things that are just terrible setups or just make general bad decisions in trading. Now that's not to say that I am perfect. I still make mistakes, and this month, my P&L proves that I had some really bad losers, but it does mean that I've grown in other areas of my life, which influences my trading. Every single thing that I do every day either gets me closer to the goal of becoming the very best trader that I can be, or pushes me away from that goal. It's also led me to postpone a lot of the things that I've wanted to learn. I've wanted to get back into playing the guitar better. I wanted to get into calisthenics. I wanted to travel, learn about plants. There's so many things that I want to grow in as a person. I want to get better at cooking. And it's not that I don't do those things or that those things are bad, but I'm just focused on the goal of becoming a good trader. Number 5, helping myself before I help other people. For the longest time, I think my life was just dedicated to helping other people, whether that was family, whether that was people at church. My calendar would be booked with calls, meetings, lunches, etc., helping other people progress in their life. And I saw the fruit of my labor in their lives, which, don't get me wrong, is amazing. I love to help other people, but I could feel my soul crippling every single time, knowing that I was not making any progress in my own life, especially when it comes to trading. So I was overwhelmed with other people's problems, and I also felt stuck in my own journey. That was a terrible combination. And so what I've been doing is filling my calendar with blocks of time where I dedicate specifically to reflecting on my trading, reading about trading, journaling about my trading, making videos about my trading, and all of these things are helping me to become better. Now, to wrap this video up, because this is going on for too long, there's a couple of things that I am focused on for the month of July 2026. A lot of these are already part of my trading regimen, but I specifically want to focus on emphasizing these things in this new month of July. Number 1, maintaining healthy habits outside of trading. So daily prayer and scripture, consistently running, strength training, eating, sleeping, all of the core basic things. That's the bedrock of having a good, healthy, consistent life. Number 2, no big losses. In the month of June, I had a couple really bad days because I spiraled a little bit, lost control, revenge traded. And if it weren't for those trades, I would have been green hella on this month. So I want to cut my losers short and take a step back to journal and reflect if the trade isn't working out. Staying objective, not letting losses get to my head. Number 3, focusing only on good setups. I don't have to trade every single day. And in fact, there were a lot of days where I would just sit in front of the screen and log out without taking a single trade. I think that was a big area of growth for me. I want to continue to do that in the month of July. I want to wait until the market makes it obvious for me, and also that it gives me good conditions. Number 4, holding and adding to winners. I want to continue to do this, even though sometimes it can be a little bit frustrating because I could have had a decent trade. I'm willing to put those current potential profits at risk in order to make a lot more money. I want to win big and lose really small. So if I'm in a winning trade and it's clear that the market is agreeing with me, I want to look for other areas to add to my position instead of selling on the position. Granted, I think this is going to be conditional on market conditions, support and resistance levels, and overall volume on the trade. But my big goal is to not sell early just because green is green. And number 5, I want to continue to overcome the fear and the doubt of trading. Again, I know the stats. I know everyone says day trading is gambling, but I'm tired of letting the fear of other people's opinions stop me from becoming successful. Not only that, I'm tired of letting my own fears internally stop me from becoming successful. In trading, it's literally just you versus you. Now, the reason why I've stuck with trading, just to conclude this video, is because I have this internal need to prove to myself that I can do it. It's almost like one of the biggest challenges. I see all the statistics. I see these really successful traders, and I see all these people that actually are making a significant amount of money. And I ask myself, why can't that be me? And over 3 years into this journey, I can say that I understand how it is that people can become really successful traders. It's incredibly difficult. It's incredibly challenging, but it's also completely possible. And I just know that I'm not going to regret this decision. I'm almost delusionally confident about this journey. And I'm also documenting the process, not because I want followers, but because I want to be able to look back on the days where I feel discouraged and say, look how far you've come. Now, trading is anything but linear, to be honest. There's no such thing as promotions or guaranteed results. I think I've come to accept that as a trader. And the fact that there's no one to blame except for yourself, no one to encourage you when you're down. It's literally just you versus you. But I am beyond confident that if I continue trading the way that I have, success for me will be imminent. So anyway, that's it. I'm excited for the month of July. Feel free to follow along on the journey as I become a profitable day trader.